rap sheet. Guys, so many impressive things happened on the field, off the field, in the locker rooms yesterday. Most impressive win, though, Shrakes.
It's funny because we're talking about Odell, talking about the Giants. The Panthers just had a heck of a win. I mean, the Panthers, this was an incredible win. And I'll tell you something. I spoke with Ron Rivera, and he had an amazing story for me. He said, special teams came to him during the offseason and said, hey, we'd like to be recognized a little bit more. Maybe you can introduce us out of the tunnel one time. They'd never done this to Panthers. Home game, wasn't the offense, wasn't the defense. The special teams before the game coming out.
Love that.
Colin Jones, the special teams captain, had a C on his jersey. So special teams set the tone to start the week.
Great.
Here they are. Game on the line. Everyone thinks they're going to go to overtime or throw a Hail Mary with Cam's big arm. And Chase Blackburn, a former Giant special teams icon, is now the special teams coordinator in Carolina, looks at Ron Rivera and says, Graham could hit it from 65 yards. Graham can do it. Trust Graham. In the same way I loved Sean McVay trusting his offense and going for it on that fourth down, I love Ron Rivera trusting his special teams, putting it on the foot of Graham Gano, who was a Pro Bowl kicker last year, and Graham Gano nailing one from 63 yards away to put that team 3-1 going into Week 6. I love the Panthers win. I know Odell's the big story right now here in New York, but the confidence he has in all three phases is what I take away from that game. Very impressive victory from the Panthers, and very impressive from Ron Rivera, a defensive coach at heart, to say, you know what? Let's go. Let's trust our special teams, and they got the job done.
I love that. From the perspective of all three phases of football, how about the Bills over the Titans? You know, they didn't put too much pressure on the young quarterback, Josh Allen. Didn't have a huge game. I believe it was 10 for 19. Had the interception. He did rush for this touchdown, as we're seeing right here. LaShawn McCoy stepped up big. Pass catchers made a few plays for him, but that defense, though, they came in and they shut down the offense. Of course, there were some plays that the Titans would love back. I mean, there was that drop by Nick Williams, and Mariota is probably still talking to him about. But the simple fact that in a week where the Titans were saying, we need more respect, and you called them out last week and you said, this is what the country thinks about you. Kyle sat there, looked into the camera and said, Titans, you're asking for respect, but this is what everybody thinks about you. And you know what? Kyle was right because of games just like this. The moment we start to trust you, the moment we start to say the Titans are for real, is the moment you lose to a team that you're supposed to beat. So I don't want to sit here and say the Titans gave that one away. I'm going to say the Bills went out there and earned a tough victory. And the defense of the Bills, you guys were the anchor. You guys were the anchor to help that young fella get another win under his belt. Just think about this. They beat the Vikings a couple weeks ago. They beat the Titans. Two of the top teams in this league. So shout out to the Bills, man. I see what you guys are doing.
Impressive that all four rookie quarterbacks got wins yesterday. Josh Allen among them. For me, it's in the NFC North because Aaron Rodgers is 13-3 against the Lions going into this game. He runs the show against the Lions. The fact that the Lions could get a win over the Packers, what a way to go into your bye week. So impressive for them. They sacked Rodgers 4 times. They stripped him twice. It just doesn't happen. And defensively, they stepped up. I feel like they keep showing us in these moments that they're balanced, that they can do it all. LeGarrette Blount just did his job, old Patriot style. He showed up, and he had those 2 one-yard touchdowns. That's what he does. Kerryon Johnson had another great game. Got a little bit banged up, but he's averaging 5.7 yards a pop, guys, on the season. Kenny Golladay.
There he is.
We talk about him on the show a little bit. He still does not get enough love here. 4 catches for 98 yards and a touchdown. This is a top 15 wide receiver in the National Football League right now. So Lions in a game where track record and everything sort of was against you, you pulled off another big one against another big team and big quarterback.
Lions deserve their props. I'll bring it back to New York because we're talking about Odell this and Odell that. There's another football team here, and they wear green, and they actually won a game. Why don't we look here? Here we go again, terrible pun, 76-point font. All the way at the top in this much smaller font, we don't even get a player. Isaiah Crowell has the best rushing game in Jets history and doesn't even get his picture on the newspaper. It's a generic fan shot. And meanwhile, we're saying Baker Mayfield's incredible. Josh Allen, Sam Darnold threw for 3 touchdowns. They put up 34 points in a win. They won the game. Odell's great. Credit to the Jets. Gang green. Have a day.
I kind of feel bad for the fan. You just
whatever his name is, I'd like to see Isaiah Crowell.